This is for those of you out there who have trouble sometimes falling asleep. You just need something, a place to take your mind to just relax and forget about the present. And almost transition into a different place to where you could easily put your body to rest. I call these reflections. They are for me, but it's mainly different days of my life when I was a little bit younger. So this is reflection number 1. I was the youngest, 8 years old. We were all about 2 years apart from each other. Me, my brother, and my 2 sisters just arrived home from school. 2 hours walk away, more depending on the route that we took on the way home from school. I remember that one day there was no one home because my mother and my father, my mother was at the market, my father was still at work. My mother used to go to the market to sell produce from the garden. Usually when we get home, we're all tired, a little hungry after burning all those calories, walking all the way home from school. So we would set our bags on the front steps and venture into the garden next to the house with something to eat. Usually a ripe banana was the easiest thing to find because they produced all year round in the tropical climate. Depending on the time of year, we usually had the option of mangoes, oranges, tangerine, or island plums. Bananas were easy to find because the island on which I lived and grew up was one of the islands that shipped its produce to England at the time. Whenever we found the amount of bananas that we needed for a snack, we would head back to the firewood kitchen and get a fire going. As soon as the fire was ready, we would roast the ripe bananas with the peel, which would give it a nice smoky taste. Once roasted to our choice, we would get our roasted snack and find a nice shaded spot in the grass to sit. We would split the banana peel open, and with a spoon, we would cut out small slices out of each roasted banana and just savoring each bite. Once we've had our fill, we would open up the house and put away our school bags. We would open up all the windows and let the fresh Atlantic Ocean breeze flow through the entire house. To be in that moment and feel the cool breeze coming through the glass louvers was one of the best feelings I had ever experienced at the time. It's simple and to die for. The combination of the tropical heat and the ocean breeze blowing gently against the light drops of sweat on my face was the closest I came to experiencing air conditioning, which I had only felt in stores whenever I went to the city with my mother. once we were all cooled off and my mother and father were home, it was time for us to finish our homework and start preparing for dinner. We would do the dishes, head into the house, and prepare for bed. We did not have electricity growing up at the time, so we did the best we could with candlelight or the Coleman kerosene lamp my dad owned at the time. We played hide and seek in the 2-bedroom wooden house, which caused us to get yelled at frequently because of how loud it got whenever we ran around the house. Sometimes to be quieter, we would use the candlelight and the curtain in my sister's bedroom and play Guess That Shape, using our hands to create different shapes and symbols. When it was time to go to sleep, my brother and I would get the 2 sacks of bedding that we stored underneath my sister's bed. We each had a desired spot in the living room floor where we slept every night. Our bedding consisted of old trousers, worn-out shirts, dresses, and any type of cloth material that would create some form of padding from the plain floor. We would lay each piece of material down, creating layers of thick and wide enough to sleep comfortably. My brother and I had no blankets. We used the sacks. We stored our bedding as blankets by sliding the lower half of our bodies, covering us up to our chests. Whenever it got a little windy from the ocean breeze at night, we would bend our knees into the sacks and pull the sack up to our necks, somewhat like a butterfly's cocoon, leaving only our heads exposed. Like every other night, the house suddenly gets quiet, with a few shuffles from bodies trying to get situated and comfortable. Everyone's eyes slowly close shut as the minds drift away into their own space. The only sounds left to be heard are the breathing of resting souls, the sounds of the nightlife of crickets cutting through the air, and the comforting sounds of the soft whistling of the Atlantic Ocean breeze blowing against the window.